the more excuses you create of why you're not saving, that should just show you that you're the problem. I was just saving to prove to myself that I can save. I can't believe I saved my first 10,000 US dollars. I feel like I'm a millionaire. Hi, my name is Lou and I make investment and finance content for beginners. And I do this by sharing my personal finance journey. So if that's something that interests you, please feel free to subscribe below. So I have this side hustle that allows me to get like passive income. And so I would remove a certain percentage. Wait, I actually never even used to remove a certain percentage. It was never fixed on like how much I was putting aside. It was just going with the vibes. Like if I got 5,000, I would put away 2,500, I would put away 1,000. If I got more, I would put away more. If I got less, sometimes I would put everything, sometimes I wouldn't put everything. Sometimes there would be months where I would just not contribute to my 10K mark. It was quite interesting. At the start, I think I had like 1.5. I remember one time I had 1.5 and I was just like, let me go out to eat. Like, let me just go out to eat. I have 1.5. Might as well just use it. But then a part of me wanted to prove to myself that I can save 10K. That was the biggest factor for me, just proving to myself that I can actually save money. Because I felt as if I can't save money. I felt as if 10K is too much. So I wanted to prove to myself that it's not too much and I'm definitely going to save it. Even if it takes me 100 years, I will save it. If you've heard like financial gurus, they'll always tell you you need to have a why as to why you're saving. Are you saving for a car? Are you saving for a house? For me, my why was pretty simple. I was just saving to prove to myself that I can save. Fast forward to when I actually started working and I wanted to be a bit more intentional with my finances. And so in that moment, I decided, you know what? I need to build an emergency fund. No matter how long it takes me, I'm going to build this emergency fund. And so I tried to save, but then a rainy day kept coming up and I would always use the money. So rather than saving the money on my own, because I saw that, I'm not doing anything. I keep the money, then I use it. I keep the money, then I use it. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So rather than saving the money on my own, I decided to join a village banking group with trusted friends. And we had a minimum, or we have a minimum amount that you're supposed to contribute every single month. And I tried my best to go above our minimum amount so that I'm able to like get to 10K as quickly as possible. And yeah, here we are. 10,000 kwacha later. Okay, so now you might be wondering, how did I actually do it? How much did I put aside? How often was I saving? So my minimum saving contribution was 500 kwacha. I put it at 500 kwacha. So in times where I really didn't have money, at least 500 kwacha would go towards saving. Now I know somebody in the back is saying, you really didn't have money, but you have a 500 kwacha to save. Listen, this is why it's called personal finance, right? If for you, what you don't have is like you don't have a 500 kwacha, but you have 100 kwacha, that should be what should go towards your savings. So how do you know like how much to put towards your savings, or how did I know how much to put towards my savings? So here's what I did. I got my budget, I checked out all my fixed expenses, wrote them down. And also if you are somebody who's taking care of a person, maybe their school fees or their groceries or something, you also need to include that in your budget because it's sort of a fixed income. Like it would be needed or required of you to contribute to that person's education or whatever arrangement you're in. Black tax is the common phrase. So yeah, you also need to put a separate amount for your potential black tax, or if it's fixed and you know it, you also have to put it in your budget. Yeah, then look at your enjoyments, right? Maybe list down 4 things that you enjoy doing. I enjoy going out to eat. I enjoy trying out new sports that require me to pay. I also enjoy getting my hair done, getting my nails done. Not so much my nails, but my hair done. I think I actually enjoy getting my hair done. It's really nice. And I also enjoy shopping. And I also enjoy ice cream a lot. Okay. So after taking care of all my major bills, I don't necessarily have bills, but let me just say my fixed expenses, right? After taking care of all my major fixed expenses, now we look at my fun things, right? Things that I do with my money that are just for my pleasure. I mean, guys, this is why we go to work, to enjoy the money. Hello. So I looked at that category of things, and for me, I cut out my nails. My nails cost about, I think, 350 kwacha, 250 to 350 kwacha. And so I told myself, like, okay, if I can paint my nails, that's fine. That's fine. Otherwise, the 350 will be saved. Okay. Then another thing that I cut out was my Capcut subscription. So I'm a content creator, and for a very long time, I wasn't creating content. So I wasn't using my Capcut editing software. But on the other hand, Capcut was deducting from my salary because it's a subscription. Okay, so I kept paying for something I wasn't using, and it didn't make sense to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be paying for this because I haven't been making content, and I won't be lying to myself saying, no, I'll start. So about 200 kwacha is what I used to deposit into my account, and that was being cut. So 200 kwacha from my Capcut and 350 kwacha from my nails. So I would put aside 500 kwacha. So that's where the 500 kwacha is coming from things that I enjoy or like doing, but then they are not very necessary. Okay, I still like eating out, and I did not touch the eating out money. No. Okay, so I was just like, okay, for my nails we can get that out of the way. For my Capcut, I'm not using it. We can divert that to savings. But eating out, we're still going to do that. Going for bowling, we're still going to do that. Getting my hair braided, we're still going to do that because I'm just a girl, okay? I'm just a girl who likes personal finance and likes to save. Yeah. So my question to you is, what areas of your life are you enjoying a little more than usual? Hypothetically speaking, I come to a place where I agree that your salary might not be enough. In that situation, I would recommend that you get another source of income. Case closed. And that other source of income is what's going to fund your 10K fund or 10K account. I saved up using a village banking because I needed the accountability. Each time I was saving on my own, I kept going back to the money and using it. So the village banking setup helped me to be accountable because you need to put the money. You have to put the money. Okay, you can't just skip a month. So you just have to put. So every single month I would put money towards my 10K goal because it was mandatory. If you're in a situation where you don't have a village banking group or some form of accountability, I always recommend that you download the My Talu app. This is not an ad, but yeah, you download the My Talu app and then you can lock your money in the app. So what happens is you can set a goal in the app according to 10K. So you say, I'm setting this goal for 10,000 kwacha, and the money is only going to be released once you hit 10,000 kwacha. And every single time you have money, deposit it into your MyTalu app. Trust me, no matter how big of an emergency you have, you will not be able to withdraw your money from MyTalu. They've put so many barriers to entry, so many restrictions that you can't access your money until you reach 10K or until you reach the goal that you set for it. If you say, I need this money next year in June, then you have to set your money according to date and you deposit, and it will only be released to you next year, June. So yeah, I hope that's something you can think about as you try to prove to yourself that you can actually save money. And Yeah, before you think this advice is just water under the bridge, I want to ask you a question. Like, especially for those people who always say, my salary is not enough to save, or I don't have money to save. My question is, have you even tried to save? Because it's easy to say you can't do something if you haven't even tried. So, have you tried? What measures did you take when you were trying? What did you do? How much were you saving? Because, again, another thing that I've noticed is the few times I tried to oversave, it hurt me. Like it it affected the way I lived life. And I didn't like that. Like, no. That's why I kept going back to the money. So please keep in mind that when you're doing your 10K saving challenge, you shouldn't save to a point that you now need to go start borrowing. There's nothing you're doing. You're saving and you're borrowing. You're saving and you're borrowing. I feel like it's important to save, but not in a way that's going to affect your standard of living. Like, no, no. Especially when it's just an experiment to prove to yourself, guys, just save the change. It's fine. And if you don't have a salary, you don't have a consistent source of income, you can save the coins. Just give yourself a timeline, give yourself a target to save towards something. The aim of this particular video is not to tell you to open an emergency fund or to start a business or whatever. The aim of this video is to challenge you to prove to yourself that you can save money, especially if you always think you don't have money. Even one kwacha, please, just something is better than nothing when it comes to savings. I promise you, something is better than nothing. So, to wrap up the video, number one, save to prove to yourself that you can save. And after that, you can use the money for whatever you want. Number two, when saving, don't save in a way that's going to like affect your standard of living. No. Save what is left over for a start. Okay. The other level of saving is where you prioritize the saving, then life. But for a start, since it's me and you, we're beginners at this thing. So save what's left over. Even if it's a 35 kwacha, save it. We're just trying to prove to ourselves that we can save. Okay, don't look at any amount as small. If it's a 1 kwacha, save it. Number three, if you lack discipline in watching the money be, right, then either open a Maitalu account and you can save your money in the Maitalu app, lock it there. Or you can do a village banking where you have an accountability partner or accountability partners and you can save with them. And with the village banking, I would recommend that you don't borrow any money, like you don't take away any money into your pocket, because that's going to now start triggering you to be borrowing, and we don't want that. We're trying to save. But yeah, if your village banking has a rule where you have to borrow, then rather than taking the money out of the account into your pocket, just pay the interest that has been stipulated by the contract or the people involved in the village banking. That's going to help you not waste money, because truth be told, sometimes if you're in a village banking group, you don't even need the money that is there. So just pay the interest and keep on saving. Yeah, so I hope these few tips help you, and I challenge you to save your first 1,000 kwacha if you've never hit 1,000 kwacha before. I challenge you to save your first 3,000 kwacha if you've never had 3,000 kwacha in savings. Okay, this is not money that's gifted to you. This is not money that you're taking away from your salary and keeping. No. This is small amounts that you're putting aside until it reaches the target that you put your mind to. So it could be 1,000 kwacha, it could be 3,000 kwacha, it could be 5,000 kwacha, it could be 10,000 kwacha. Guys, if I told you how much I get paid, you would even be shocked. First of all, I get paid less than 10,000 kwacha. So for me to save 10,000 kwacha from a less than 10,000 kwacha salary, that's a big deal for me. Like, that's why I'm even this excited. Like, wow. I'm so happy. Now, imagine some of you who are watching this and you get more than 20K, more than 15K, more than 50K, but your savings are zero. If an emergency happened, you would start borrowing. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And so for all my friends who are saying, no, but financial advisors, financial content creators, they don't understand. They don't understand. Yes, some advice might be a bit exaggerated and unrealistic, but based on your current situation, because you understand your situation better than I do, right? So based on that current situation, how much are you taking away to save? The more excuses you create of why you're not saving, that should just show you that you're the problem. It's not even about your salary being small or big, it's you who's the problem. Why? Because why are you just creating excuses for why you can't save? Wait. Yeah, so if you're watching this, just drop a comment saying cheers to 10K, and I'll know that you're a real one and you reached this end of the video. And yeah, let me know how your savings journey is going and if you're actually going to take up this challenge. And I'll see you in my next video.